another calculation, and that calculation is to calculate out molarity of acid in an unknown solution. Molarity of acid in an unknown solution. So today you have to, in second exercise, find out, this is a solution containing hydrochloric acid or HCl. But we don't know how much HCl is there in it, how much concentration, and how much is the molarity of this solution. We don't know. So we have to find out molarity of this acid in this solution by titration method. To calculate molarity of unknown acidic solution HCl by titration method. What is titration method? Titration method means you should not add anything in a bulk, but you should add anything gradually, keeping on the response. This is called titration. For example, in clinical practice also we use titration method. A patient comes to you with severe chest pain, and in order to relieve the pain, we will give morphine or pethidine injections. There are two ways to give this injection. One method is that you say to your what you can say, staff nurse, okay, take 2 ml pethidine and inject him. So he will take 2 ml and inject directly. But the other method is that ask him that take 2 ml and give him in a titration method. Now what he will do? He will not inject at all the 2 ml. No. What he will do? He will inject 0.1 ml and then wait. See the response of the patient. If pain is not relieved, another 0.1 ml, another 0.1 ml, another 0.1 ml. So he will keep on injecting slowly and slowly like this, and the point, whenever he found that the patient is relieved, now no pain, he will stop further injection. Maybe at 1 ml, maybe at 1.5 ml, maybe at 1.25 ml, whatever. This is called titration method. So here also we will not add any alkali in this acid altogether, like adding 2 ml or 5 ml at once. No, we will keep on adding drop wise till the color change, and as soon as the color change we will stop. So that's why it is given the name titration method. Now why this method we are using? We are using this method in connection with our acid-base balance. Because in our body, we have an acid-base balance system to maintain the pH. Why? Because maintenance of pH is a very, very important function, and a slight disturbance in the pH, whether acidic or the alkaline side, it will disturb many of the chemical reactions in our body, many of the biochemical reactions. And even both acidosis or alkalosis, they can cause even death of the patient as well. So that's why, along with other methods, our homeostatic system also prevents changes in the pH level. And for this purpose, we have special substances in our body called buffers. Like bicarbonate buffer system, like phosphate buffer system, and these are usually combination of an acid and a base that will prevent a change in the pH. But apart from the buffer system, we have two other systems as well to prevent the pH changes, and they are the respiratory system, which will operate by increasing or decreasing the carbon dioxide expulsion from our body. Why? Because carbon dioxide is the main source of hydrogen ions, and hydrogen ion is responsible for acidosis. Similarly, we have another system called renal system, and this renal system, by increasing or decreasing excretion of the hydrogen or bicarbonate particles, it will maintain the pH of our body. Now in today's exercise, we will see how the titration method is and how we can calculate molarity of an unknown substance. For this purpose, we need three things. Number one, an unknown acidic solution. Number two, we need a buffer solution or an alkaline solution like sodium hydroxide, which is an alkali. And this alkaline or the basic solution, its concentration should be known. So here we write that it is 12 gram%. So here the quantity of sodium hydroxide is 12 grams per 100 ml. 12 gram%. Thirdly, we need a color indicator that will indicate us about any change in the pH. And this is litmus. It will give pink or red color with acid and blue color or grey color with the alkaline or basic pH. So three things: an unknown acidic solution, a known base solution, and a color indicator of the pH like litmus we are using here. Now what are the steps of this exercise? The first step is that where is 2ml? This one. So first we will take 2 ml solution of this unknown acid and put it in a small beaker. Okay, so 2 ml unknown acidic solution in the beaker. Now we will add 2 drops of litmus in it. You see the color of the solution becomes pink, acidic. Now in the third step, we will take a cylinder, and in this cylinder we will take known volume of this sodium hydroxide. Known volume. Known volume means, let's take 25 ml. Okay. So now it is 25 ml sodium hydroxide. Right? First step, we will take 2 ml unknown solution. Second step, add 2 drops of litmus solution. Third step, we will take 25 ml sodium hydroxide here. Now in the fourth step, we will take the sodium hydroxide from this 25 ml and start adding here and keep on shaking. Change in the color. Remaining sodium hydroxide, put it back here. And now what we will see how much sodium hydroxide is used. We start from 25 ml and now it is 22 ml. So it means 3 ml sodium hydroxide is used, which is 12%, and to change the pH of this solution. Okay? Now from here, how to calculate the molarity? You find only that 3 ml of sodium hydroxide is used to change the pH. Now to calculate the molarity, we will use the formula, that is M1V1 is equal to M2V2. Here in this case, F1 is the molarity of the acid, this one, which is unknown. So we will mark here unknown. V1 is the volume of the unknown solution. It is known or unknown?
No.
How much? 2 ml. We use the acid 2 ml. So 2 ml known. So we will write in place of V1 2. Coming to this side, M2, that is molarity of this sodium hydroxide, known or unknown? Not known. You don't know the molarity. You know the concentration, but you don't know the molarity. So you write unknown here. And V2 is the volume of sodium hydroxide, known or unknown? How much? 3 ml. So write 3. Now out of 4, 2 are unknown and 2 are known. But these 2 unknowns, we can find out, we can calculate 1. This is M2. How? Because here we know how much concentration is. But here we don't know the concentration. So we can calculate out the molarity of this sodium hydroxide. How we can calculate? That molarity is equal to concentration grams per liter divided by molecular weight. Molarity can be calculated by the formula concentration in grams per liter divided by molecular weight. So here for sodium hydroxide, we know the concentration, that is 12 grams per 100 ml. But the problem is that here it is given grams per liter. We have grams per 100 ml, that is 12 grams in 100. So to make 100 1000, you have to multiply it by 10. So if 12 grams in 100, how much grams in 1 liter? 12 multiplied by 10, that is 120. So you can take 12 multiplied by 10, that is 120. So 120 divided by molecular weight of sodium hydroxide is 40. So 120 divided by 40, it will become 3. So 3 is the molarity of this sodium hydroxide. Okay? So here in place of unknown we can write 3. So now only one thing is unknown. So change the formula. M1 is equal to M2 into V2 divided by V. So now put the things, that is M2 3 multiplied by V2 3 divided by V1 2, that is 9 over 2. So 4.5, it is the molarity of the acid here unknown. So this acid HCl dissolved in distilled water here, it has the molarity of 4.5. We calculate it by the titration method. Okay? Clear?
Yes.
This formula?
Yes.
Any question? Right. I said concentration required is grams per liter. But here the sodium hydroxide we are using is grams per 100 ml. So if 12 grams in 100 ml, how much gram will be in 1 liter? 10 times more. So that's why we multiply 12 by 10. So it becomes 100. And 40 is the molecular weight of sodium hydroxide. Now on the backbench, there are 3 solutions provided of sodium hydroxide: 6%, 3% and 1.5%. 12% I already show you, 3 ml. So you have to determine the molarity by using 6%, 3% and 1.5%. Okay? And then, after finding it out, what you have to do, you have to plot a graph. In this graph, on the x-axis, you will take concentration of sodium hydroxide. What is the concentration? 0%, 1.5%, 3%, 6%, 12%. And on the y-axis, you have to take volume of sodium hydroxide used. Like with 12%, how much volume you use? 3 ml. So similarly, with each 6%, 3%, 1.5%, how much volume is required, how much volume is used to change the pH from acidic to alkaline, you have to find out and use that volume and make a graph, whether a straight line or a curve, whatever may be. Okay? Remember, how you will find that your results are correct? You will say that your results are correct if with each case 12%, 6%, 3%, 1.5%, in each case the molarity of the acid should remain same, that is 4.5. Why? Because in every case you are using the same acid. The change you will find will be in the volume used. Why? Because you are using different concentrations. So the volume will be changed. The molarity of the sodium hydroxide will change because you are using different concentrations. But the molarity of the acid should come same with all the 4. Yes?
We can't just calculate it from the formula.
Which one?
Because we know the concentration and we know the molarity, the M1. Now, for this solution, we can't be calculated without from the experiment.
You can calculate, but in mathematical calculation and in practical doing, the volume will be different. So that's why we have to do practically and find out the volume to plot the graph. Yes, what you are asking? Forget. It is moles. I will tell you. Moles something. I will tell you. Okay, now after these 2 practicals, The third point for today is about the exam. For the exam, it will be in two parts, just like you do it in your first term. A station part and a performance part. In the performance part, you have to perform a practical, and with this practical, maybe we will give you 2-3 small questions to write their answers, or maybe somebody will come to you and ask 2-3 questions related to your practical, whatever. The station part, 5 stations inshallah, and the questions can be of any type. Maybe definitions, maybe calculation, maybe formula to write, maybe questions from a figure or a picture, maybe true, false, multiple choice, whatever. So any type of question. To prepare, the best way is that go through all the sheets thoroughly, completely. And whatever the points that I told you in the class, which are extra than the sheet, also go through them. Inshallah you will find them. Okay? 8 marks total, 3 marks for the file and 5 marks for the practical part. Both practical as well as the station include 5 marks. Coming to the file, take your files. It include endocrine and reproductive part. Add your renal part, add your muscle part in it. Also complete all the deficiencies that I pointed out. If index is not there, add the index. If objectives are not properly written, write them properly. Wherever graph is needed, add the graphs. Graph should be on graph paper. Add the urinary stick I give you before and said that put it in your own urine sample and check it. So add the urinary stick with the results. So all the graphs, urinary stick, everything, it should be there in the file. Neat and clean file. And the file should be bring on the day of exam. Exam will include all the practicals. Endocrine, reproduction, renal, muscle, everything. On the day of exam, bring your white coat, bring your files, bring blue pen, bring pencil and scale, bring your calculator. After coming here, don't say that I don't have this thing, borrowing from here and there. No. Bring your own things. Okay? Clear?
Clear.
Mobiles will not be allowed. So don't use mobiles for calculator, bring your calculators. Right? So inshallah at 9:30 on 28 Sittha we will see you for the exam.